Hey, Mudford here. Today I just wanted to talk about backyard chickens. Seems to be a big craze nowadays all over the country, and we kind of fell for that fad too. We got our first chickens this year, and I just wanted to show you our setup for them and basically what you need to do, especially in cold weather climates, to keep them safe and healthy for the winter. So here's my chicken coop. We just have a metal shed because we got it. You can buy these kits really cheap and get it set up. And then what I did for the winter was I ripped down some 2x4s into 2x2s, put some insulation in, and then some thin wallboard down, and then I put 2x4s up into the ceiling and put some thicker insulation there. But anyway, here's our food setup. We got kind of an innovative plan rather than the cheap feeders that you see that make a big mess all over. Ours are made out of PVC. That's 4-inch, and then it splits next down to 3-inch, and then splits off into 2 feeders. And you can fit quite a bit of feed in there. You only have to feed them maybe once a week, especially if you have them outside. Maybe if they're inside all the time, which they will be probably in the winter, probably have to feed them twice a week. We have 14 chickens. We lost one. I think the dog might have got it and then it didn't come back in the night. Ours, we let them out during the day and they just roam around the yard. Then we bring them in the evening. But I think our beagle got a hold of one of them and was chasing it around and wounded it and didn't make it back. So we're down to 14. So this one's a little taller. It's in the middle where the peak is. You can fit quite a bit of food in there. And they don't make a real big mess with it. There's not much on the floor around it, like with the other feeders where they pull it out and make a big mess. But they can just get their head in here. They can reach down in there. I don't know if you can see, there's the food. You can see the food. They can get a mouthful of food and they aren't able to fling it all over. Ours aren't mature yet because we got them late in the season, so they're just about ready to lay eggs now. And we got 4 of these nesting boxes for them. I got these ones because they were a little more expensive than I wanted to pay, but I didn't want to mess with. Was really busy and I didn't want to mess with building them. I could have built them out of lumber, but these just screw into the wall. You can see the screws right there, but they can pop out for easy cleaning. You can just pull them out and dump them out and then snap them right back in. And then right now I have them closed because they're not quite ready to lay yet. But you just, maybe, there. When they're ready to lay, you just put the perch down and they'll jump up on here and we'll be able to get in and lay in there and hopefully lay some eggs and get right back out. So here's our watering system. It's cooler. I put this board on just to keep them off of it because they'll climb on anything and then crap all over it. So this just hangs in. I got a metal piece of metal there, right there, and that just hangs in the lip right there, and it hangs on, keeps them off of there. We'll set it down, and here's the cooler. It's a little dirty. The water probably could stand to be cleaned. There's a fountain pump down there. Pumps the water up through this tubing out here into this. That's 1.5 PVC, and it comes across here, and here's where the watering nipples are. This is where they'll get a drink at. I'll packet that and get a couple drips out. The water flows there, and then it necks down 3/4 to give it a little back pressure, and then it just recycles back into the tank. There's also, I don't know if you can see it, bird bath de-icer to keep it from freezing up when it's cold. And that's thermostatically controlled, and that should keep the water from freezing. I am going to need to, there are some leaf debris and stuff in here. I'm going to have to dump this out and clean it out so it doesn't get the pickup on the pump plugged off and burn up the pump. But generally it stays pretty clean because the flow in it doesn't get slimy or moldy or anything like that. And then I also I just put this in because the this is like shower wall material here, and I had some left over from a project in our RV, and I noticed the wood wall was getting wet, so I put this on to keep it from getting wet, and hopefully the wall should last now. It won't rot out on us. And just put a gutter down here because you do get drips. I didn't want it all in the straw, and because chickens are so dumb, they will stand right under it and bump into it and spill water all over. So if you put this gutter down here, it kind of keeps them back a little bit, at least. I mean, somewhat. Not always, but it helps. And then I got a couple of different height roofs here. Here I can tell I need to change the straw, but they're just slid down in there on those mounts on the end, so when I go to clean I can just pop these right out and clean in there, which is a good thing. It makes it a lot easier. And I also have a light here, heat lamp, because they were still a little young when I put them in here, so I had to keep them a little bit warmer. But we'll see if I need to use this in the winter or not. Probably shouldn't. And I had a thermostat in here that was in their brooder box. You can see it's just about 40 degrees. Let's see if that'll focus. About 40 degrees in here right now, which isn't bad for November, early November. Okay, that's just about all for our chicken coop. I just thought I'd share that with you. Thought it was pretty neat, some of the innovative ideas for water, and feeders, which I have seen other people have, but I just kind of put them all together and really like it. It makes it convenient. Here's our chickens now out roaming around in the yard, and a cat might chase them around a little bit. For some reason they let him, and they don't. They're way bigger than him. But we have a mix of some, hopefully all cold hardy birds. We have some Rhode Island Reds, New Hampshire Reds, and Buff Orpingtons are the lighter colored ones. But we got these. I thought we'd be able to get a few eggs from them, and trying to teach my son, he's 7 now, a little bit of responsibility, so he kind of takes care of them. And my deal is I'm not paying him an allowance for this, but what he's going to be able to do is he's going to be able to sell any extra eggs. So it's going to teach him a little bit, hopefully, about life and like a small business and capitalism and all that good stuff.